Afternoon. It is December 31st, last day of the year. Still had to get out for a walk. We don't usually do much for New Year's anyways. We'll go out for dinner, and that'll be pretty much how we wind up the year. My wife is really into hockey, so she'll end up watching the hockey games tonight after we get home, and I'll probably just sit in front of the tube and watch YouTube videos like I usually do. Very exciting stuff. It is about minus 13, and quite the wind all of a sudden just picked up, so it might be affecting the microphone. Supposed to get down, I think, tonight to minus 28, or is that tomorrow night? Regardless, that will be fucking cold. So I'm just out doing a country walk today. Same old place I've been before. I'm going to try and go through the abandoned golf course, see if people have plowed down the trail through there. We had a skip of snow this morning, which allowed me to use my new blower. I'd rather have the blower and not use it, but I had to use it because it did snow. Not a lot though, really light stuff. Did make the country roads a little dicey getting out here though. So I got that to look forward to heading home. Other than that, let's just walk. I did decide to don the snow boots today, and I have my walking stick because it is still pretty rough out here as far as just man-made plowed trails with feet, not machines, so it is a bit stumbly. I was kind of looking forward to getting out here, and now that I'm here I'm like, I don't know if I really want to be out here, but the show must go on. Only one person's been through here since it snowed this morning. This little path is fairly solid at least, so it's well packed down. Somebody was out here on a horse since it snowed. I may run across them. I know they make a loop through here quite a bit. The human I was following, footprints gone away, so back on being on a horse trail again. My left hand is starting to feel better. Still kind of difficult to hold a fork. Two middle fingers are kind of tight for some reason. I haven't made it back to the chiropractor for shockwave yet. Look at my wacky hat here. Good enough, keeps my head warm. I got so many things I need to do, but I'm afraid to overtax my hand that I can't use it for even longer. I've got front end parts for my Jeep that have been lying around for well over a year, plus the power steering has been leaking through the ram, or the rack and pinion. But it's a big job, and I think maybe part of my problem is I'm a little bit intimidated by it. I don't know why. It's just start taking things apart and then putting them back together. But I also told my son I would look at his car and see if it's worth repairing, but haven't been able to do that either. What are you gonna do though? Get my health in order, and then we'll have more capability to do that kind of thing. I certainly noticed how loose the front end was in my Jeep today when I was going down the icy country roads. I better get at that job soon because that sucker's going to be undrivable. Front end's only been rattling for 2 years, right? That's normal. When a vehicle's 15 years old, I guess you really got to start paying attention to the maintenance items. This is a lot more solid footing than the last time I went through this way. Note to self, don't be the first person out here when it snows. You hear that? Me neither, because there's nothing to hear. What a delight. My wife and I talked about buying an acreage for years just for that peace and quiet. I think that ship has sailed on us now. Not really wanting to go into extra debt just for peacefulness. I'll just stay in the house if I want peace and quiet. It's like those days when you're sitting in the house and the fridge isn't running and the furnace isn't running and it's just quiet. It's almost unnerving, but it certainly is wonderful too. Again, all I have is the ringing in my ears to listen to, which is a constant thing. According to my watch, I'm at 2 kilometers. Some of it is stumbling, so that burns extra calories. That's what my mind says anyways. You get cool down this little hill. I haven't fallen for 3 days, so that might be a bit of a record for me. Be careful under here though. Sometimes these trails that are packed down and had melt on them, the snow will cover the ice. Snow boots doesn't help that. This tree path is kind of keeping me out of the wind instead of being out in the open there. In the big wheat field. Or barley. Or whatever it is. I don't know farming. It grows in long stalks and it's green. And then when they cut it, it's brown. That's all I know. Certainly feels like winter today. If you had to guess what river that was, would you be able to? If you said North Saskatchewan, you would be correct. Because why? All of my hikes seem to end up near the North Saskatchewan River. Noisy airplane. Haven't run into anybody yet. And the path I'm on, nobody has walked on today. You can tell from the snow. Whoever was on the horse went adjacent to this path. There were 2 cars parked where I was. Both of them Subarus. I was going to make a lesbian joke there, but I won't. The person or people on the horse went down that way towards the river valley. I think for today I am going to stay on the top. And nobody's been on this trail at all today, that is. often wonder what it would be like to be in a secluded location, living like in a off-grid cabin in the woods. The more I listen to the news, which I try not to anymore, the more it makes the idea of just selling everything and moving off into the bush somewhere more appealing. But then maybe I watch too many van lifers. And their lives, sometimes on YouTube, seem glamorous. Some of them try and show the good and the bad of van life. I wouldn't mind trying it, not as a full-time living arrangement, but maybe as a weekend gig or something, where you can just kind of go anywhere and park. Unfortunately, it's becoming a problem in resort towns like Canmore and places right next to the mountains. Because in the national parks, they don't let you just park anywhere in your van. But be interesting to try it, just to live a minimalist lifestyle. But I do like my gadgets and stuff, so I don't know if I could give up everything and do that kind of lifestyle forever. I also have a wife and family to think about too. Hey honey, I bought a van and I'm going to be gone for 3 months. See ya. I know you wouldn't have liked it, so I'll just try it out for us. Lead balloon message right there. And maybe instant divorce papers. Down below is where I walked the other day. You go down that hill there and down into the valley, where that little picnic or fire pit area is. Wonder what they're going to do with this land over time. That part down low might be similar to where I was yesterday at Terwilliger, where it's probably a floodplain. Used to be oil or gas well activity here back in the day. Now, like an idiot, when I checked my watch to see how far I'd gone back there, I ended up pausing this stupid thing. So I walked the last bit up to now with it paused. So I'm not going to get an accurate reading out of that now. I'll have to rely on Runkeeper and Google. One thing about Google, though, is it should be learning, right? Because these places are not usually tracked on people's phones, so maybe it'll learn and be more accurate. The other thing, too, is it's been mostly cloudy since I've been walking, so I wonder if that affects the accuracy of GPS signals. But no matter what, high score wins, right? And whatever device has the highest score, that's the one I'm going to say is the most accurate. And back to the van lifer thing, there are a lot of YouTube channels of people living that lifestyle, whether it be motorhomes or RVs and vans. Ooh, that wind. And maybe that's why they start YouTube channels, is because it is kind of an isolated lifestyle, and maybe they feel connected to people by having a YouTube channel. Back to the main path again. I don't know where those people that were parked, where I parked, walked, but they certainly didn't come down here. No footy prints. Up over there is where I was walking before in Devon. That trail just basically follows the river until you start heading west again. My wife and I want to do the RV life, not full time, but we'd certainly like to do some extensive North America travel with a truck and trailer. The biggest hurdle right now is the capital, because the size of trailer we think we would be comfortable in is not quite half-ton pullable. So, and my truck is already, well, what is it? It'll be 13 years old soon. Not a lot of miles on it, but still, you want to make sure you're traveling in something that's reliable. So that's our biggest hurdle right now. We'd thought about doing a whole year on the road, but there's so many things to figure out. Do you sell your house and use the capital from your house to buy your RV? But then when you're done RV life, how do you get back into the real estate market? And I'm not a big fan of renting, because you're at the mercy of a landlord. So I think we've come down to that we'll probably do 3-month trips. One of her biggest desires is to spend some time right down in the Florida Keys. However, the time that we'd have to go, of course, would be high season down there when everybody is trying to escape winter. But that's okay. You just got to factor that into your costs. Other than that, it would be just kind of following the paths of other RVers. Go down to California and Texas. I think my favorite places are going to be places like Utah and Arizona, New Mexico. Just that rugged, rough landscape down there. And we're not going to be camping either. We'll be glamping for sure. Probably stay mostly at RV campgrounds or resorts. I mean, the odd time we'll probably boondock in places that don't have services. But we're kind of fancy people. Don't like to rough it too much. Not sure if that's more me or my wife, but certainly we share that. And that's why, if we bought too small a trailer, the comfort level would be maybe lower and we just wouldn't like it at all, and that would end our RV lifestyle. So we want to kind of do it balanced. We don't want to bring everything with us, but we still want to have some of the comforts of home. Sun came out and the wind died down. Turned into a pleasurable part of the walk. I thought I was going to be right into the wind with my face the whole way. Just the way the scenery looks, winter might be turning into my favorite season. Okay, Tom, enough with the shots of the sun shining through the trees. Maybe. Well, this is the last walk for 2024. This has been a year to remember, a year to forget. Depends on what point in the year you're looking at. All I know is it's one more pensionable year. And I am closer to that was a good trip there. And I'm closer to retirement. That's when I was having weird health issues back in October with my stomach and stuff. I mean, my stomach. I thought, I've been working for 45 years. There's no goddamn way I'm going to let the government take my money by dying early. So I decided to make the conscious effort to be a little bit healthier anyways. You save and you save and you save. Don't want to be spending it on, extreme healthcare measures just to keep yourself alive. Sad thing is, with all this walking, I don't feel any better or any different. Oh, here comes the wind. Neat fog down the river valley there. Yeah, I wish I could say I feel so much better. Just passed a guy pulling a sled with some lumber on it. Wonder where he's headed. I might have to follow his sled tracks on the weekend and find out. Yes, back to my rambling about feeling better. I know it's the right thing to do, walking and stuff, and I don't want to discourage myself from continuing to get exercise. But it's not like I can safely say, oh my God, what a night and day difference. But I'm going to keep plugging away. And it is an enjoyable hobby too. It's forcing me to get out and even discover places in my own backyard that I would have never known about. So there's always a positive. But now I'm starving. And with all these videos, I guess I'm starving for attention too. This is nearing the end of Mundane Man Walks for 2024. As soon as I get to my car, I'll see how Runkeeper did in Google. And of course, my watch isn't going to be right because I ended up pausing it. Oh, technology. Okay, Runkeeper said I did 5.25 kilometers, and Google said I did 5.1 kilometers. And my watch said 4 kilometers because, of course, I paused it accidentally when I was at the other side of the area here. But a good walk. Still met my 5-kilometer goal. Well, Happy New Year. And here's hoping 2025 is a positive for everyone. Until the next one.